Hello, hello. Heather Jean here with another episode of Confidence with Coffee. And today I am drinking orange squash, which is just lots of water with a little bit of flavor um, because it is hot here in the UK. And for those of you who live in other places that are very hot, you might be going, yeah, that's okay. 100 degrees, no problem. But we don't have air conditioning. So a little bit of melting going on here, hence the squash. Also, water is good for us, right? Okay, so in this uh, segment in this series, Confidence with Coffee, we talk about our latest podcast or Vodcast episode. And this week is a huge week. It's all about recovery from abuse and trauma and why holding on to trauma might cause us to feel less confident or not be able to achieve our goals. And that is so important, especially here at Confidence Through Cabaret. But it's important for everybody to feel confident, to feel wonderful, to feel loved. Um, oh, I'm just feeling the heat. So it is so important that we feel good about ourselves. And that means that we need to process our emotions. That means that we need to acknowledge our emotions. And I can tell you for free, if you shove them down and make this very deep well or compost heap and think they're going to disappear, they are not. I did it for decades. I did the whole toxic positivity. Everything is wonderful. And I'll tell you what, in 2019, when everything fell apart, I became an empty nester. I was still recovering from breast cancer. My late husband passed away. All of the things, and then COVID, and then that blew up my business, and all kinds of things, which was great because it started Confidence Through Cabaret. But at the time, it was not great. At the time, it was extremely painful because all this stuff came up, and first it came up like a volcano, and then it just kept spewing. And every once in a while, I still need to process things. So I am joined in this podcast or vodcast episode by Dr. Marcia Martin, who is fabulous. We had such a great conversation. And if you want to check out the episode, go anywhere you get your podcast, search Confidence Through Cabaret, and you'll find it there. And if you're here on the YouTube channel, you can just jump on over to the Vodcast playlist after this, and you can check out the latest Vodcast, which is with Dr. Marcia Martin and myself talking about abuse and trauma and why the importance of recovery and why it may be stopping you from not reaching your goals or having the confidence you deserve. So I want to play you a little bit of a clip. It's a longer one than I usually use, but it is an important message. So let's have a look.
You've got to allow yourself to say, ouch. If it hurts, don't brush it away. Say, oh, hey, that really hurt. I'm really disappointed. Whatever emotion it is that's coming up first, be sure to acknowledge it. Otherwise, it just grows. You want to acknowledge it. You want to unpack it. Gosh, what does this mean for me? How does this affect me? How does this change what I had been hoping was going to come about? And then, as quickly as you can, now that you've acknowledged, hey, things didn't go the way that I wanted to, I'm going to have to chart a new course. As quickly as you can, you begin charting that new course, which then should say, and I'm completely confident that I am able to do this. I am excited and delighted about what's coming. I'm so grateful for this new opportunity. That's when you can bring in the positive side. But if it's always, I can't look at this bad thing is always going to be in the back of your mind, eating away at your confidence and telling you why you won't be successful this time. It will say things like, you couldn't do it last time, so what makes you think you can do it this time? What's wrong with you that you believe you somehow gained something when you failed last time? These are the voices that we want to quiet and to eliminate by giving them a voice and really examining it. But it's very important that we understand that just because you have the conversation going on in your head doesn't mean it's true.
Indeed. Just because you have that conversation going on in your head doesn't mean it's true. Now, we're all familiar at this stage by, what inner critic means. We have possibly an idea of imposter syndrome. We might even understand what causes are. Um, but we have a quite a long conversation, Marcia and I, about the need to clear, to experience and clear those things, and look at what has that experience taught you, or what have you learned from it, or what might have been the reason that it has taken you progressing on your journey. We also talk about the need to replace that trauma, that feeling, those emotions with something else. And Marcia Martin explains what that's about and why it's important. And I can tell you, if you don't replace your habits with new habits, I mean, first of all, that's the best way to break a habit, right? That is the best way. You change your habit. You don't get rid of a habit and then that's it. You change it so that you have a new habit that supports you. Because the middle of your brain, well, let me just put my drink down here because I'm going to need to talk with my hands. The middle of your brain, which is kind of that routine and habits focus, will follow whatever habits you have, whether that habit is eating unhealthy foods, or whether those habits are, doing exercise or eating healthy foods, for example, or drinking lots of water. So it will follow whatever habits that you have, it without questioning it once it becomes a habit. And so the neocortex, the front of your brain, needs to be conscious and aware and allow for those feelings and to make healthy decisions so that those become our habits. And when we don't do that, then we just perpetuate continuous habits that don't serve us or support us. And it goes unquestioned. And when that happens, what I did is exactly what Marcia's explaining. I replaced one trauma with another trauma, right? So I got rid of one trauma and then I adopted another one because I didn't change my habits, because I didn't experience it, because I didn't consciously process it, because I didn't release it. I felt very judgmental of my feelings, and so I didn't want to face them. And that's the bottom line. And that might be where you're at as well. If you are, then let's have a conversation about that. Let's have a look at the episode. Reach out to Marcia, reach out to me, and let's have a conversation about healthy internal dialogue, about healthy habits, about how you can feel more confident, how you can show up for your goals. Because you probably don't need a coach that gives you that, like, the how-to stuff, and there are lots of coaches that will do that. And that's great if you want to learn a new skill or acquire knowledge, but in actual coaching, it is about allowing, it is about experiencing those feelings and letting them go. And you don't have to relive them all. You just need to become aware of them, interrupt the patterns, change the habit or the associations, and release. And that's when you can start to develop even greater confidence or more consistent confidence. And that's when you start to be able to set and meet your goals without that. I mean, I won't say without it, but minimizing that internal voice that's talking about, you weren't able to do that before. You tried it over and over, nothing good is happening. So what makes you think this time's different? Exactly as Marcia says. So how we talk to ourselves is all important. All of those things like affirmations, journaling, meditation, I am a huge fan. However, if you need to release or explore the learning from your trauma and then let it go and develop new habits, then you may need some support. You certainly need to do the work, and it is work. I'm still doing the work. This is 2019 and we're in 2022, so 3 years now. A little over 3 years actually for me, of really working through that. So you deserve it. You do. You really do deserve it. And here at Confidence Through Cabaret, we can show you all the things to feel good in your body, to change your imposter syndrome, to show up unapologetically. When there's trauma there, then you need to clear that. You'll also find for July, the new masterclass is all about interrupting those toxic patterns that hold you back, often from trauma. And that is by the fabulous Vanessa VF, who specializes in narcissism and has done a beautiful, very clear step by step how to interrupt patterns and what work needs to be done. Alternatively, reach out to me. Definitely, you can reach out to Marcia. It's all in the show notes for all of the contacts, and get what you need. Get the help that you need. You deserve it, and you should be investing in yourself. We all should. So you can find Confidence Through Cabaret on all the socials, except for Twitter. We are at YBYWYS. And on Clubhouse, I'm at Heather YBYWYS. And those 6 little letters stand for it is your body, it is your world, and it is your stage. Take up space and own it. You deserve it unapologetically. Please like and subscribe while you're here. Come back next week. We'll be talking about our latest podcast or vodcast episode. We love having you here. Thanks so much. Bye for now.